Hey everybody, it's Blogging Brandi here, and I'm here with one of my favorite students and clients, Michelle. She is a real estate agent and entrepreneur. I like to call her boss mom, and so many other titles. So first off and foremost, thank you for being here, Michelle, with me today, and I'm so excited to share your story.
Oh, you are so welcome. Always a pleasure, Brandy.
Yay, Michelle. So I know we've been talking, and I feel like we probably couldn't even get your whole story in this, because there's just so much to it. But I know we can do more updates. But I just wanted to get with you and share where you're at now, where you've started, and also where you're headed. So, first and foremost, Michelle, I'll give you probably a better floor to introduce yourself. So, who are you and what do you do?
I do everything. I do everything. I am a mom. I am a mom of one, grandma of three. I am an like Brandy said, I am a realtor. And I've started affiliate marketing. That's what I'm doing right now. Um, So what I did before, what I was doing when I met Brandy was we were kind of thinking about selling our house. We ended up decluttering in 2 weeks and sold our house in 45 days. We went from a 2,000 square foot house to an 800 square foot apartment. Yes, I am a realtor and I live in an apartment.
There's nothing wrong with that. I didn't even think
There is
about that, but there is nothing wrong with
no
that.
There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. You have no idea what somebody's going through, what their life is like for that to happen. So there's nothing wrong with being in an apartment, nothing at all.
You have to transition at some point from place to place. I think that's one thing that a lot of people feel like is that you leave from one place and you have to move straight into another, but there are these transitional periods, that you go
Yeah,
through.
yes. And speaking of the transition, so when I met Brandy, and this is exactly how I met, I prayed one morning because me and mom had this dream of RV living, and we were about to sell our house. We were about to make a pretty good profit on it. And I literally prayed to God and I said, look, I need an answer. Is this what we need to do? Is this what is best for us? Is this what is best for my mom, for me, my family? Um, and I literally turned on the TV, hit YouTube, and there is Brandy's beautiful face there, and something told me to click on Brandy. And I was like, oh my God, I just met my soul sister. And it was like everything that you had said to me was just like, wow, okay. And I saw that she was offering a course, and I was like, sold, because I wanted to know if this was really what we envision, what we were able to do physically, because that is our limitations are is physical. Um, and I opened up RVersity and literally wowed by the attention to detail that this soul sister of mine has put into this program is just amazing. Like, you can totally tell it's her passion to help people find the answers to what they're wanting to do. And so it was it and honestly, like, for me and my mom, we found out that RVing was not the right thing for us because of Brandy's course. And she saved us heartache, probably, and a lot of just screaming moments, because we
And
realized it
money.
was, yeah, and money. Like, seriously, probably $40,000, because we needed a specific RV. We needed specific things in the RV. That sometimes RVs don't come with. And then we thought about, just crazy. I mean, and when I say she detailed it all, but Also, the good thing about it is that it gives, if you are an RVer or anybody else like me, that I took advantage of the RVersity because I was looking to get an RV. However, she's also doing digital, helping
Being
people
for
go,
bosses.
yeah, go RV for, RV for bosses, which you don't have to be in an RV to do that because guess what? I'm doing it. So, and I'm not an RV.
And you're a real
So,
estate agent.
and a real estate agent, like I'm a real estate agent and you know, I'm doing what I'm doing. So it's a great course. It really is.
So that brings me, which thank you, Michelle. I'm so excited. That's one thing when people talk about working with me and taking one of my programs, and I've offered tons of things over the years, but it has helped me hone in on my passion. So when I say, working with Brandi or RVersity or RVing for bosses, one of the things that I've learned is everybody's at different points and everybody's at different stages. And so I really love the fact that everybody's able to come together and learn from each other, learn from me, and learn maybe it's not right for you now, maybe it's right for you later on. But I will have people and they'll say, oh, I'll invest whenever I buy an RV. And so that's what kind of helped me, how you say, yeah, I'm not even in an RV yet. I'm like, that's where I think people miss the mark is they think that it's going to be this course about here's how you set up your RV and all of these like step-by-step tutorials about how to actually RV versus it's more about a lifestyle change
Mhm.
and downsizing, minimizing, becoming a minimalist, going digital. You're essentially been going on the road or going off the grid. Everybody kind of has like their own way that they want to do it. For me, I started out RVing, but I also am not in an RV just like you sometimes, or will be van lifing, sometimes will be condo lifing. So that's why I say, working with Brandi or RVing for bosses, that it's not just this like one thing. So
Yeah.
don't be ashamed that your journey ever takes like a different turn. That's the beauty of taking this course and having like a live, living, breathing like person and community that helps you figure out these things as you're going through it. It's not just like this thing that you go take and it's like step one, step two, step three. Okay, I'm just going to figure it out on my own. So what was the challenge? I know you kind of touched on this, but what was the challenge you were experiencing that made you want to work with me specifically?
Just well, like you pointed out, just understanding the lifestyle, not getting stuck in the salesperson's head. And I'm saying that because I'm a salesperson myself, you know. But when you go to an RV lot or when you go to a car lot, they're only going to tell you what they're going to tell you. Okay, I'm not saying everybody, so just I'm not saying everybody, but their purpose is to get you in an RV. Their purpose is to get you in a car. My purpose is to get you in a house. And so they're not going to tell you all the ins and outs. Like when I first started thinking about RVing, I had no idea what a white tank was, a gray tank was, and a black tank. And I did not know that I was going to have to literally flush that crap literally myself. Okay. And then I started thinking, wow, here I am, 51. My mom is 71. She lives with me. We deal with pain on a daily basis. If something happens on the day that we should be flushing out the tank or whatever, and we can't get to it because we're hurting so bad, we're literally in bed, it's just not gonna, not gonna happen. So it was a big, huge eye opener for that. It literally helped us make our decision.
Michelle, I
And
think I lost you and you came back on.
oh, I lost you and you came back on.
Okay, I don't know where you were at, but
I
I
don't
said,
either.
okay, so I said, what's the challenge you were experiencing that made you want to work with me? And I know you were talking about your RV. You said that whenever you actually, I'll just let you say it again because I
Oh.
don't want to hear it.
When it was just different things. Like when I first started thinking that this is what we wanted to do, because of course, you get on Facebook and you get on TikTok and you get on YouTube, and the first thing that you see is this really, really pretty RV, and it's just like a little shiny new toy. And then you find out what all you have to do, like the maintenance and stuff like that. And which is the same as with a house, and stuff like that. Our thing is that we didn't want to have to worry about any of that. That was our reasoning for wanting to go into an RV. Okay. So when I started the course, I was like, wow, this is like going to be hard work. Like, or not. And let me rephrase that: hard work for me and my mom, you know, and everybody's life is different.
Right,
And we wanted to really downsize, and we just wanted to downsize more of our worrying about
right.
everything as well. So I just want to rephrase that, because it was for us, it was going to be too much work, you
But you
know.
did have something kind of happen along the way, in your journey, which I know we've talked about, but that changed. And I know you're saying like, because you don't want anybody to think like, oh, that RVing, yes, it can be a lot of work. I didn't know when I bought my first trailer that I was gonna have to do all of this setup and cranking and up and down, but I didn't even know that you could buy or these upgrades or
Yeah.
upgrade your trailer to have things that automatically did it for you. You know,
Yeah,
I
like the
didn't know
bed.
that. I didn't know these things, and not all of them come like that.
No,
But
yeah.
also, those things can cost you a lot of money up front. I know what you were saying about you're not trying to say like it's for you and where you and your mom were at. It was a different. What you learned was that it wasn't going to work for where y'all are, what you're trying to do right now. I know you
Yeah.
said probably long term, you're probably going to maybe buy some land or
Yeah.
do something with RV, an RV or a tiny house or something.
Yeah.
But it helped you open your eyes to your condition. I don't want to say condition or ailments, or I know you phrase it as a disability. I know you have like a term for it that I don't remember the term that you said, but you said your mom had fallen too, and that y'all had
Yes.
thought about living separate, and then you were gonna
Yes.
now you kind of figured y'all needed to be together.
Yes. So during the process of actually packing our stuff up, we decluttered, because I'm a realtor. I know what buyers look for, and so I was like, "Mom, we're decluttering. We're going minimal," because at that point in time, we were going to go into an RV, okay, from a 2,000 square foot house. So at that point in time, we were getting rid of everything that would not be going onto that RV. So if you could just imagine, because I am a grandma of three. So I've got all these keepsakes that I don't want to get rid of because, they're memories and all that stuff. So, but during the move, when we were, starting to put furniture downstairs and stuff like that, my mom has always been this. Oh, okay. Gretchen wanted to be in on this. Um,
Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
um, so during this, she took a fall, and it was our plan. Our plan was RV, and then from an RV, we were going to do a tiny house. We were going to do two tiny houses, and then we were going to sell the RV, or keep it. We weren't for sure about that yet, but we were going to get two tiny homes and set them side by side and have like a porch in between them. And when she took the fall, it was just like a ding, 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 of me saying, what am I thinking? Like, I've got to be under the same roof with her, because either that or we're going to have to like carry our phones around with us everywhere we go. And it was just it was a it just made us really, I mean, it made me especially. Mom is still kind of getting new to this falling stuff. I have been falling since I was 41 years old. So it's new to her, this pain issue. And so she's still like, oh, I can do this, I can do that. And when she fell, she could not help us the whole time we were moving.
Mm.
And it like I said, it just really brought into it brought us to thinking, okay, we've got to be under the same roof. So we're in a small apartment, but we have 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, and you know, it's like 800 square foot, and it's plenty big enough for us. I can hear her if she got stuck in the bathtub, you know, and I had to help her out of the bathtub.
Right.
And it's things like that, on the reasoning why that we kind of had to kind of circumvent the wheel and kind of
Pivot.
go
I call
in
it pivoting, you know, you're
yeah,
pivoting.
a lot of pivoting, a lot of pivoting. So that's
Everything,
kind of
nothing is certain. You know what I'm saying?
no,
You can't predict that stuff.
no,
And it's about being able to pivot and having a community, having people, having
mhm,
a support system to help get you through that time. Because this is a whole transition that you've been through. You
yes,
know, I actually don't know if you realize how fast you did this.
I know. And
I
that's what
mean,
that was, and honestly, because mom was really in a bad place at the time, and I had gotten one of my pain shots, like probably about 2 weeks before. I did most, I mean, and she'll tell you, I did most of the decluttering and everything by myself. And I tell you what, there were some days that I was literally crawling to my bed. Like I could not, I was just like, oh my gosh, you know, and mom's like, Michelle, how are you doing this? I said, because I have to, you know, because I don't have a choice. You can't do it, you know, like I have to do it, you know? And so
won't you say it was like a good tired on some of those days? It's kind of like
absolutely.
this refreshing. Oh my gosh, it was
Oh
so
yes.
much work,
It
but
was so
oh,
when I first started throwing stuff away, I was like, oh my God, right? And I promise, probably, Brandi, what was it? It was probably after the first garbage bag. I was like, let's keep doing it. Like,
I know
let's
you
go.
got this
Let's
like
go.
crazy thing in you, and you were like, okay, I did the bedroom today. You won't believe me, I did the kitchen yesterday. Okay, I did 3 rooms today. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I kept
I
seeing
was
you
like,
post all
let's
this stuff for
go.
sale. Like the whole house was for sale.
Yeah,
Like
the
first the
whole
house was for
house.
sale, but everything in the house was for sale too.
Yes, because we were ultimately still at this point, we were still thinking we were going into an RV, you know, which meant our our furniture and stuff was not going to fit, you know?
Right.
So, I mean, we were still in that mode of we're selling everything, and we still sold everything, you know? And but yes, it was great. Like, and the stuff that we have now, I mean, we still have we have a little storage area on the patio that we haven't even filled yet.
That's so good.
So, so yeah, so everything that you saw when I was showing you around was legit what we have, you know, and we're fine with it. We're not missing
I was
anything. I
gonna
still got
ask you
pictures of
that.
it.
Do you feel like you miss anything? Like now that you've gotten rid of anything, is there anything you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I still
No,
had?
nope, not a thing.
So do you think it's mindset?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then
100%.
how did you feel? One of the things you mentioned was that when you were selling the stuff, you were like, one, you were mad because, oh my gosh, why did I spend money on this? But how did you feel when you actually made money off some of the things that you were selling to downsize? You know, it's almost like you're
Well,
financing your dream or getting some of your money back.
right. Well, that's weird because I had a hard time with that, and I don't know if it's where I am living or if it's happening all over, but I had a hard time getting rid of stuff. And I let some really nice furniture and stuff go. And when I say next to nothing, I'm talking like under $100. And, like I said, I don't know if it's the area that I'm living in, um, or if it's
You had
just the way
some
the world has got
really
now.
eclectic, nice pieces. And I feel like somebody would have to value those things.
Yeah.
And also, I know we talked about it depends on the platform, the time of year that you're
Yeah.
selling, like you're saying, the area that you're selling in.
Yeah.
And when it comes to getting rid of stuff, I always have these rules. I say that you have the stuff that you're going to keep, the stuff that you can sell, the stuff that you can donate, and then the things that you can trash. And so even there's so many things that I even had price tags on that I thought, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be so amazing if I could sell this? But really, when you look at it and you're not going to make that much money off selling it, when you think back about it, or you think of like return investment on my time, how much is it going to take me to, is it going to take me 4 days to sell this, 1 week to sell this, an hour to list it, 15 phone calls?
Yes.
Would it be worth it? Like, that was the one thing I feel like some people start to figure out when you start to downsize. I always say, make a list of everything and show it to me. And then let's see like what's worth selling and what's worth like, okay, look, my time is more valuable than selling this thing. And also, maybe I can give it to somebody that needs this more than me. That's kind of how I think about things too.
That's what I ended up doing.
Yeah, I know you did. You told me also you gave away some stuff because you help a lot of the community banks, like clothing and
Yes.
stuff that's going to help people.
Yes. So I gave away I probably over probably a couple of grand of clothing to an organization here called Speak Up About Drugs. And I tell you what, she was tickled pink. I mean, we're talking garbage bags full of clothes that still had the tags on it, like evening dresses, business attire. Um, I mean, oh, it just, and I still have a closet full of clothes, but it's, yeah, I mean, I gave away shoes, just so much stuff, furniture that I gave them for some of the sober living houses and stuff like that. It was just, and man, that made me feel so good
Yeah.
because somebody was going to be able to use, to go, they wouldn't have to worry about, because I'm in I wear 14 to 16 in women's. And so, um, go to business, business appointments or going on interviews for the first time. Something that they won't have to worry about is getting business attire.
Right.
Um, so that was like, we had no problem, honestly, with giving things away. It
Right.
was the time that when I was trying to sell stuff, the time and having to make sure they're not scammers and, and having to meet with them or having them come to my house so that they know my address to pick up stuff because
Mhm.
me and mom couldn't carry it. It's all those things that we just literally, it was just,
So would
it,
you say to, because I think we talked about this probably prior to our interview here, but would you say that you've started to learn the value of yourself and your time
Yes. Yes.
and
Yes.
what
And
to
I've
put
learned
your
how to
efforts
say
towards.
no. Yes. And I've learned how to say no.
Yes.
But I've also learned, and I'm 51 years old, but I'm trying to, I've also am starting, and I say I'm starting, and there's a reason why I'm saying that, but we won't go. Anyway, um, the value of money too. It was like a huge wake up call for me. My I don't have a good, and I call it a relationship with money. I don't have a good relationship with money. I am changing that with Brandy's help. So it is a process, but I would urge anybody to not start at 51 on on this, and I do think some of it is a little bit of a generational thing, you know, um, but the reason, I became an entrepreneur and I'm going this route is for the fact that I want to make my money work for me, not the other way around.
Right. And that's what this is giving you is independence
Yes.
and confidence and a plan and a path to be able to do that.
Yes.
I know we talked about this. I said, I feel like when I talk to you, you have all this passion inside of you, and I feel like you have all these pieces. And what I have hoped to been able to do is help you take those pieces and start putting them together and figuring
Yes.
out like how they work.
Yes.
So, on that note, Michelle, let's go on to the next question. So, how did working with me positively impact you?
Oh, easy. Every which way. Like I said, just I knew, this is the thing. You have to find the value in something before you really just, like I would say, pull the trigger on anything. And when I got onto YouTube, something was telling me I need to watch this. And I'm just sitting there going, I just prayed about this. Like, I was manifesting somebody coming into my life that would help me. And when you did come into my life, it's like you helped me in all aspects. It wasn't just this one thing. Like I found my soul sister. And it's like, it's just we have the same things in common. We're both entrepreneurs, and she is a guru at this stuff. And I feel like I'm still new, even though I'm really not. It's like, but I'm
You're always
still learning.
learning.
This is the thing. You're always learning. If you're not always learning, and you will get stagnant in life. And I am number one speaking on that because it happened to me. And so, um, now I'm getting to where I'm learning, and you got to rewire your brain like that, because once you stop learning, your brain is going to unlearn. And so you're going to, oh, that's 2 days that I didn't do anything to help myself, become a better person, become a better you. And so I did that for 15 years. 15 years, I did not pick up a book. I did not invest in myself. And now I'm being stingy and I'm investing in myself.
You know what I call that? I call that me season, or I say hashtag me season.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's
It's all
okay.
about me, baby.
Yes, yes. So on that note, Michelle, this question, you kind of answered this, but what do you feel, or what did the program do for you, and what did working with me do for you, and how did it help you?
Well, the saying that, you are the 5 people that you hang around with, and I learned in that 15-year span that I need to work on the people that I am hanging out with, and so Brandi is one of those people. You keep her around, and you keep community that she has worked so hard at doing, because it's literally what she loves to do. And it's all about that, it's all about just, it literally is community. You've got to hang around with people who are doing the same exact thing as you are, you know, and that doesn't mean you can't have friends, but you've got to be around those people, because that helps get you excited about stuff.
Your
If
support
somebody,
system.
yeah, it's your support system. And I have a great support system. My mom has never been an entrepreneur. She worked for Sam's and Walmart for 40 years in the corporate world. So she, and here I was a corrections officer. So I worked for the government for 10 years, and then I was a legal assistant. So I've done a lot of the things that Brandi has done. I was a nail tech, like
I
we
forgot about all that.
yeah. So it's like, I yeah, and it really is the community and what she teaches you, because she's out there also in the trenches learning things to teach us and to bring in, hey, might not want to try that, or hey, let's try this.
I did that.
I've done that, just to let you know, here are the pros and here are the cons, and so it's a whole, I love it. I love it. I really do. It was the best decision that I've probably made, taking her course, that I have made in probably 5 years. So the other one was becoming a realtor. I've learned a lot through that. So, but yeah, for sure. Best
I'm
thing
so
ever.
happy to hear that, Michelle. And I'm so excited to see where this heads. And so I know we've kind of talked about this, but just to reiterate, so what are some of the tangible results that you achieved? I know we talked about that you downsized and got your house listed in 2 weeks. And then
Mhm.
you said, did you say from the time you listed it until the time you sold it, it was like 45
It
days?
was 45 days. If we would have listed it probably 2 weeks before that, probably it would have been 3 weeks, from listing to, but being that I was a realtor, I know we needed to declutter and stuff like that. And we did that, and it took us 2 weeks.
But
But
you also wanted to get the most amount of money for your house.
I did. And we ended up, so I bought the house in 2017 for 145, and we sold it in October of this year for 317.
Yay. So you made
So
like over
yeah,
150,000 in profit.
yes,
And so you didn't go waste 40,000 or more on, I know you were looking at an RV that was up there in price.
yes.
And one thing I thought was kind of interesting when I'm thinking back about this. I remember you showing me one of the RVs that you were looking at for you and your mom. And I just remember you showing me this video, and the first thing I thought was, who's gonna sleep in which room? There's only one room. And then you were like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna sleep on the couch," and I was just like, this is
Well, and
not."
I legitimately did not know that you could find an RV for any kind of lifestyle you wanted to have, because I did not know that you could find them with 2 bedrooms and stuff like that. So I was giving up my bedroom. I was giving up my bedroom for mom. No, mom was going to get the bedroom, and I was going to sleep in the living room, you know. And Brandy's like, Michelle. No, 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 no. She says, I'm about to give you a list of 2 bedroom, 2 bedroom RVs, because no, you cannot do that, you know. And so she did, like within 30 minutes, she gave me like this list of like 20 different, what is it, serial or
There
styles or
was different
whatever.
one, yeah, styles, models, floor
Yeah.
plans.
floor plans and stuff of two bedroom RVs. And she's like, Michelle, you really need to stick to this. Like, don't think that you're going to sleep in the living room because it's just not going to work. But, that's, and at that point, me and mom were kind of desperate, and that's when I reached out to Brandi, like we were desperate because we were living off disability and social security, and we weren't even able to afford our house payment. So it was a we'd always wanted to RV, but it was more of I'm willing to do anything to get out of the situation that I'm in,
Right.
and taxes were going through the roof, and so was insurance for houses. And we just got to the point, and when I say we were literally living in our bedrooms because of the stairs, we lived upstairs in our bedrooms. Downstairs was like where the kitchen was and everything like that. And, we were living in like 400 square foot of the house, and all the rest of it was just going to waste,
Right. And you're probably paying to heat it and cool it and everything else.
Yeah. I mean, $350 electric bills. And now our electric bill is like $50,
Yeah. No, you've had so many positive changes. I know I said tangible results. I was trying to think there was something else that you had done. I know you had made the money off of the downsizing. I'll think of it in a minute. But we'll move on to the next question. I'll come back to that one in a second. Were there any results, Michelle, that you weren't expecting that pleasantly surprised you?
Yeah, that I don't think I wanted to be in an RV.
That's actually hilarious.
I mean, she's like I said, she saved us $40,000 because our dream was based on what you see on TV and not really what's going on. For a normie, a normal person who doesn't, have any like chronic pain, and somebody who's young, well, and of course you can have chronic pain when you're young. I'm just saying for that, it would be great, but not for where we're at in our life, And so, yeah, that was that was huge. But another thing is I just did not expect that the RVersity would take it a step further and, teach me about, digital jobs and stuff like that,
Like being
and
a digital
that's
nomad and
too.
your
Yeah.
boss or your bossness, your business.
Yeah. And those are things, that you can take with you. I mean, I'm doing it from my apartment, I just took a Disney trip with some of the money, and I was able to work
You
from our
took
Airbnb.
10, I forget, we were talking about that earlier. We didn't talk about that on this interview. You took 10 people to Disney and you said you paid for all the tickets, the whole event, all the travel, hotels, food, everything for like 2 weeks.
Yes.
And that was something that I don't know. Do you think before we started chatting, I mean, I tell you, I remember you were laying in your bed, how you were just talking about in your bed. I remember this. Where you were at when we met, would you have ever dreamed that you were going to be taking your whole
No,
family to Disney World and being able to give them the gift that you gave them for Christmas?
no, because it will be like it's the memories, my oldest grandbaby, and I say he's 9, but he's still my baby. But he's been to like Silver Dollar City and stuff like that. The 2 youngest have never been to something like this. So, and we kept it secret up until the day in the morning we left.
Oh my gosh.
And we gave them shirts, and and we put hats on their head, and that's how we told them, Disney. And to see their faces through that whole park, like I can't get that. I would have I would have paid anything to see that. And it's something that still they talk about, every single time they see me. It's something that we talk about. And it's just, I've learned that you can't take time for granted. Live your life, travel, do what you want to do. And if it's not traveling, if you don't like to travel, just be happy, and what with whatever you do, you know.
Right.
And there's ways to do that without, having to go and clock in and, work that 9 to 5 every single day, and not being your own, not being your own boss, you
Right.
know?
No, I'm excited to see where you take it. Like I said, I can tell that you're like building this, I call it a mobile money machine, but also multiple streams of income. And
Yes, that's
it's something more than a, not just a lifestyle, but it's not just about RV or business. It's a mindset. It is a mentality. It is a movement, that you're making. And and like I told you, hashtag me season, but it's essentially something you're doing for yourself, and
yeah,
it is a long-term thing. It's not something that you just do overnight and it just changes. I mean, you've had a lot of things happen, what feels like probably overnight, but you know that it was a lot of hard work, just like you're saying, oh my gosh, I was just so tired, but it's like a good tired. And then when you look
yeah,
back at what you got from it, the return on investment of that time and the money that you didn't spend, and then the money that you made, and the
right.
mistakes that like you didn't make. There's just like some of that, I don't know, like when I sit here and talk to you and I try to really put it back in perspective, it makes me see that whether it be RVersity, RVing for bosses, or like how I just call it in general, like working with me, that it really does have such a bigger impact. It's not just this thing that you watch and do. It's like a lifestyle that's you're living and breathing every day. And
Yes.
it's what you put into it and what you get out of it, is what I always say.
Hmm.
So on that note, Michelle, what would you tell someone who is considering in investing and working with me?
Oh, I've done it millions of times. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. I mean, if you're somebody who might not be interested in RVing, but you're interested in that um, mobile work lifestyle, Brandy is your girl because it's one, she's easy to talk to. You can sit there and tell her what you're frustrated with and what's going on, and she'll be able to help you, and but she is a coach. I mean, she just got on to me before this call.
In a good
I
way.
needed, I needed, to, I needed to just dip it in the bud, quit spending that money.
Well,
but
I can't say I'm not honest.
but that's great. I mean, you don't sit there and just, but you talk to us sensibly, and I mean, it is right. It is true, So, but yeah, I mean, she's great to work with, and she's very organized. She's very personable. There is not one thing that she does not cover in in our varsity. Trust me. Like, she's got it all in this one package deal. I mean, it's phenomenal. She put a
Yay, I'm so
lot
glad
of
to hear
blood,
that.
sweat, and tears into that. I Trust me.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that, Michelle. And I'm so glad to hear what it's done for you. I'm so excited to see where you head, because I know that this is like only the beginning of your journey. And I can't wait to see where this whole next year takes you, where you've come from this past year. And on that note, I guess I would just say, is there anything else that you would like to add or say before we hop off here?
No, I mean, just live your life, and understand that, just because you're just because RVing was not for me does not mean it's not going to be for you, because I honestly wish it was for me, because it was like it was kind of like a dream of mine got squashed for a little bit, but
But you're
it doesn't mean that I won't pick it up at some time,
right,
at some point, it's
right.
just it's on hold right at this moment.
I wouldn't even say it's on hold. You know what's really interesting about it when you say it that way? And I always tell people, since we talk about like how you have this boss side and you have this RV side, or you have like your living situation
Mhm.
and you have your business. But when you become an entrepreneur, what normally happens is those things blend together.
Yes.
And it's not that you go from this 9 to 5 and you check out and you come home and you have this separate life and you can cook and clean and do whatever. It's all in one. And
Yep.
then when you work from home or you work remotely, it becomes even more all in one. And
Yes.
so it's learning how to make that work and learning that it is a lifestyle change and it's just a constant, how I was telling you, it's about pivoting and having peace when you're making those pivots.
Yeah.
So,
And
um,
don't let fear derail you from living your dream, whatever it is, take it from somebody who knows. Just, I try to tell people things, because I am older than some people, and I've been through a lot, and just don't let a little thing derail you from your dreams. Keep pushing.
Definitely, Michelle. That's why you have the community. That's why you have me. That's why you have the whole
Yeah,
course. And this whole big journey is about us all being together on it. So
yeah,
I really appreciate you taking the time today, Michelle, to talk to me and share your story. And I can't wait to shout it from the rooftops and share your story with everyone else. And
absolutely.
if anyone is thinking about following in Michelle's footsteps and you want to work with me, you can head to workingwithbrandi.com. And you can even find out more about it on my website, bloggingbrandi.com. But I'll put a link below this video in the description so you can check that out. And yeah, so I'm so excited we got to do this interview.
I
I
know.
can't wait to hear some more updates, Michelle. My
Yes.
dogs are going crazy. I I feel like they're excited too. But yeah, so check the description below. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me on this, Michelle. I can't wait to see where this all takes you. And yeah, I'm so excited. So bye guys.
Bye.